Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of View Jersey and another installment of Seth's Bucolic Sites. Today, and for the next couple days while I'm staying in this little cabin here, I'm going to be taking you around Stokes State Forest and some of my favorite locations in the surrounding area. Stokes State Forest is located in Sussex County, New Jersey, in the northwestern portion of the state, and it's one of the most beautiful areas in the state in my opinion. I'm stoked to be back, and I can't wait to show you around. All right, everybody, it's day 2 out here in Stokes State Forest. I took the first night to kind of get my camp set up, and I went around and got some B-roll at some nearby places that I'm going to take you to later. But for our first stop, we're going to do Tower Trail. It's off of Sunrise Mountain Road, and it takes you up the side of Sunrise Mountain. I'd say it's a moderately difficult trail. It is pretty rocky and fairly steep in some parts, but overall it's not too hard. It's not very long, and at the top there's a really great overlook. So let's check it out. All right, so we've made it to the top of the mountain here. It's really windy today, so hopefully you can hear me all right. When you get to the top of the mountain, you'll see why this is called the Tower Trail. There's a big fire tower up here. Also, if you see white blazes and different signs with an A and a T, that's the Appalachian Trail. That actually runs across the ridge of Sunrise Mountain here. And behind me, there's a beautiful overlook that I'm gonna show you now. Let's check it out. All right, so we just got done with the Tower Trail. When I was up there after I had filmed for a little bit, the wind got really crazy, so I packed up my stuff and got out of there. Whenever I'm hiking alone, especially, I like to avoid any sort of inclement weather, and just in case it's a safety hazard. So got down and followed the Sunrise Mountain Loop Road back to, you almost hit 206 again, and that brings you to one of my other favorite spots here, which I'll talk about in a minute. But first I want to share a little bit of history on Stokes State Forest. So in 1907, the New Jersey Forest and Parks Commission purchased 5,000 acres of land in the northwest corner of the state. This happened not long after Governor Edward Stokes had donated 500 acres of land in the same area. The forest was named after the governor for his generous donation, and since then a lot more land has been acquired, and the forest is now over 15,000 acres, which explains why I won't be able to show you everything in Stokes State Forest in the few days that I'm here, but I will take you to some of the more notable spots and some of my personal favorite spots as well. When I was doing my research online, I came across a poem by Ralph Corson that I really liked, and I wanted to share it with you. On the Stokes State Forest Trail I am strolling tonight. I can see the winding path by the moon's silvery light, the swift running brook and the tall swaying pines, the laurel in bloom and the scent of hidden vines. On the Stokes State Forest Trail, all my cares pass me by. It's a bit of paradise when the moon's in the sky. All right, so we're back to talking about some of my favorite locations here in Stokes State Forest, and this is one of them. I'm actually not sure if this lake has a name. I've checked the map several times and I can't ever seem to find one. But if you were to come in the front of the park and go to Shotwell Camp where the tents are and follow that to the end of the road, there's a trail that brings you through the woods here. I think it's probably about a half mile. Or if you follow the Sunrise Mountain Loop Road, right before you get back to 206, there's a little driveway that goes off and back to your left. You park there and you get to cross a beautiful stream with a little bridge that takes you through a field and out to this lake here. I like to come here sometimes 2-3 times when I'm in the area, especially this time of year. It's so beautiful. This row of trees behind me, this hillside, midday, later in the day, always lights up, beautiful colors, and there's perfect reflection across the water. It's always very quiet and peaceful. There's some old growth trees around here that are just beautiful to look at, and it's one of the most serene places in the state that I've found. Like I said, I always come out here multiple times when I'm in the area. I really enjoy it. I always get some great pictures. I actually came out here last night as the sun was going down because I wasn't sure if the sun was going to be out today. And I got some photos, some drone footage and stuff, which I'm going to put in after I'm done talking here. But yeah, if you're ever in the area, I'd definitely come check the spot out if you want a nice, peaceful place to sit back and take it all in. The next place we're going to explore today is the Tillman Ravine Trail. I'm going to read the description from the trails pamphlet that I got at the office because I think it's kind of funny. Tillman Ravine Trail is a looped trail between ridges and a ravine along Tillman Brook in the Tillman Ravine Natural Area. A lot of Tillman. It's a beautiful place though. It's one of my favorite spots here and I always love coming here. So let's go check it out. This area here is probably the most popular and scenic portion of the Tillman Ravine Trail, and this pool of water right next to me is known as the Teacup. In the warmer months, it's not uncommon to see hikers stopping by and cooling off in the fresh mountain stream. And this whole area is really just breathtaking. It's my favorite part of the trail, and I think it's most people's favorite part of the trail. So I'm going to stop here, get some more shots on the way back, and then we'll move on to our next spot. Definitely stop by Tillman Ravine Trail if you're in the area. You won't be disappointed. All right, folks, we're back out on the trail. It's day 3 here in Stokes State Forest, and right now we're going to be exploring Tibbs Trail. Tibbs Trail can be accessed from Shotwell Road near the entrance to the camping area, and it takes you alongside this beautiful lake behind me here and up a ridge through the forest. I think this is a new trail because it's not on the trail pamphlet, but the last time I was here, I saw the sign for it and decided to explore it and really enjoyed it, so I figured I'd bring you here today. Let's check it out. When you reach the backside of the lake here and start to come up this ridge, which is lined with a really beautiful rocky wall, the area offers a really great view of the lake below. And if you're looking up this ridge as well, it's a really neat tunnel of trees that really lights up with greens and yellows and orange and a little bit of red this time of year. So if you're looking for an easy hike that also offers some really great scenery, Tibbs Trail is a good option. The last trail we're going to be exploring in this episode is called the Silver Mine Trail. The trail gets its name from a once active silver mine that was discovered by a man named John Snook in 1875. It was an active mine for several years, and now the area is home to one of my favorite trails in Stokes State Forest. Let's check it out. To access the Silver Mine Trail, you can park at Kittle Field, and across the street there's a barbecue and picnic area, and you'll walk through there, and out the back side you'll hop on Stony Brook Trail. And after you follow that for a little bit, down this beautiful valley on your left, you'll see this little waterfall here. It's a gorgeous rocky stream or Stony Brook that runs through this valley alongside the trail. And after you stop here and take in this beautiful sight, you continue down the trail until you see the orange blazes. That's the Silver Mine Trail. All right, so I made it to the end of the trail here. If you get to the point on this trail where you see a sign, it's an orange sign that you can tell said Silver Mine, but there's only a few letters left on it. If you were to go left, that'll take you to the Blue Mountain Trail. And if you go right, it brings you down this little hill here behind me, and it takes you to the site of the old silver mine, which I'm going to show you now. Not much left of it today, and it's all blocked off by a fence and rebar, so you can't get in there, but it is pretty cool to see. All right, so it's been a beautiful day. We got to explore Tibbs Trail and the Silver Mine Trail. Now I'm back at camp hanging out for a little bit before I go try and catch the sunset on Sunrise Mountain. While we're here, I figured I'd show you around my camp a little bit. Got some stuff of mine by the windows here. Got our little iron stove. That thing really keeps you warm at night. A sleeping pad and bag. My chair where I sit and ponder all of life's greatest questions. And we got some clothes, a broom, some clogs. These lean-tos are a really great option if you want a sort of rustic cabin without paying for a cabin. They're a little expensive, but not too bad. Definitely worth the price if you ask me. I always enjoy my time here when I stay in them. Yep, that's about it. Alright, so there's one thing you absolutely have to do if you're here at Stokes State Forest, and that's catch a good sunrise or a sunset from the top of Sunrise Mountain. This morning was overcast, so we couldn't do the sunrise, but it looks like it's going to be a good sunset, so let's head up there now and check it out. All right, everybody, thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode exploring Stokes State Forest. There's so much more to explore here, and I could really only scratch the surface in the few days that I was here. But I hope you enjoyed checking out some of the most notable spots and some of my personal favorite spots. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel on YouTube at View Jersey, follow us on Instagram at View_Jersey. And if you visit any of the locations that we've taken you to, be sure to tag us in your pictures so we can follow you on your adventures while you follow us on ours. Thanks again.